And now, an Etsy holiday gifting mission. Today's episode, Operation Delivered on Time. Here's the situation. The holidays are coming up, which means you're on a mission to buy handcrafted gifts. But you're worried they may not be delivered on time, so you need peace of mind if something goes wrong with your delivery. Impossible, right? Not this year, because you're shopping for gifts on Etsy. Etsy is where everyone can find handmade items from independent shops. It's also the place where you know your gifts will be delivered by the seller's estimated delivery date or your money back. Whether you're searching for handmade home pieces like serveware, cutting boards, and throw pillows, or personalized items like necklaces, handbags, and seasonal jackets, Etsy has it and has your back if something goes wrong with delivery. New to Etsy? Use the code HOLIDAY10 for 10% off your first purchase. That's code HOLIDAY10. Maximum discount value of $50. Expires December 31st, 2023. See terms at etsy.com/terms. To claim refund, see requirements and exclusions at etsy.com/legal/buyers. Etsy has it. Shop etsy.com.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 36 of Three Terrible Gamers. I am here with Colin.
Hey guys.
And we have quite a few topics today. Hopefully we get through all of them, but I doubt it. But let's go ahead and get into it. Shigeru Miyamoto mentions other movies in the future with different characters. So they had the Mario movie, but he wants to make movies with other characters here in the future.
Yeah, they are assembling a whole entire team specifically for it. But he quoted, well, I'm going to read his quote. It says, "Please keep an eye out for our next production. This time, Mario was the focus, but Nintendo is a talent agency. We have many other entertainers on our roster." And then that's the end quote. Although Miyamoto did not disclose any further details, he said there are various ways to develop characters for the screen, including characters that are suitable for film and characters that are well known, because we all know that they have a huge roster of first party characters.
Right. Yeah, so who do you think will be the next IP to be on the big screen?
That's a rough one. I'm going to go out on a limb since Donkey Kong was in the Mario movie and say Donkey Kong.
Okay.
Since they already got the voice actor, and everything for it, it wouldn't be that hard to give Seth Rogen a standalone movie with Donkey Kong and making it work.
Right. I agree, and I can see that. In my opinion, I would love for it to be Zelda, but I don't think it will be. I see it most likely being something along Metroid, because just any Metroid game you could take and make it a movie. It's just the story behind any of those games make a good movie, and that franchise it's pretty hot right now. They're coming out with games like Metroid Dread, Metroid Prime Remaster, Metroid Prime 4 coming out hopefully later this year, if not next year. But they're selling really well, better than they ever have, so I could see them making a Metroid movie.
Do you think they would go live action with Metroid, or do you think they would go animation?
They could go either way, but I think since Illumination done such a good job on the Mario movie, they'll probably just stick with them and make it animation.
Makes sense, but Metroid being the type of game that it is, it's more realistic than a Mario title, so I figured
Right.
it'd be best to go live action route, especially if his quote is true and they have the talents to make all these different types of movies, not necessarily just using elimination,
Right.
even though that is a partnership.
Yeah, I mean, they could do it live action, and I'd say it would turn out pretty well. Just you're like you said, it is more realistic, so yeah, it would work. But Nintendo being Nintendo, they most likely will probably stick with the animation side of it. But I could be wrong.
Got to compete with Sony somehow in the movie industry.
They're already competing with them in the gaming industry. Why not the movie industry too?
Right.
All right. Dead Island 2 sales and rating.
Well, it hit a milestone already within 3 days of it releasing with 1 million copies.
Yeah.
So it scored, trying to think, 8 points better than what Dead Island did. So it got a 74 Metacritic, a 7 out of 10 on IGN. The IGN score was the same for the first Dead Island, so the game technically improved since like I said, the Metacritic score increased by 8 points. So as a series, they improved by 8 points.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's doing really good. Like you said, topped a million copies sold in just 3 days. And it took the original back in the 360 era, I believe, over a week to reach that milestone. So it's doing really well. Um, on Metacritic itself, 75 with 17 positive and 6 mixed and 0 negative. So that's not too bad for the type of game it is. It's not going to win Game of the Year or anything, but not every game has to be made to be Game of the Year. It has to be a good game. This type of game, you just go out, kill a bunch of zombies. There's no real strategy to it. It's just that type of game. Just go out and have fun.
That's right, your open world zombie slayer.
Right. And I mean, I may play this game and may pick it up eventually, but yeah, it's just one of those. You just pick a random weapon, some crazy
Yep.
weapons they come up with on here, and just go kill some zombies with it.
Yeah, kind of hard to go wrong with those type of games if that's what you're into.
Right. I mean, it's not something I want to play all the time, but once in a while, just to maybe get your
Yeah,
minds off stuff, go slay some zombies.
yeah, that's definitely one way to look at it. It's pretty much just a time waster game. Is
Yeah.
what I like to call those types of games.
Right.
Yet again, they're great for wasting time, and that's pretty much all they're there for. Because I don't think, really remembering off the first one, that it didn't really have much of a story to it.
No. No. I mean, really, I mean they're not, but to me, like Mortal Kombat's that's a time waster game to me. I mean, yes, they have stories, but I don't really do the stories. I do arcade mode most of the time, and that's just a
Yeah,
game. I'm a time waster for me.
yeah, I do the story mode, so I actually go through and do all that stuff. So for me, which still, I'll agree with you. A fighting game is more of a time waster because, I mean, let's be honest, the story's not really that great in any Mortal Kombat that I played.
Right.
Like I said, Army probably had the best one, but
Yeah.
like I said, more interactive in it than what you was, say, even, well, the most recent one I beat was X.
Yeah.
So it was, for lack of better terms, just the story mode was just, okay, right here's the characters you're fighting with right here's their backstory a little bit. Same characters that they've been using since the 90s, but
Right.
they just put a bit different paint on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's that which most likely what they do is they develop the game, develop the maps and everything, and then the story's an afterthought. Like here, we'll just tie this all together somehow, and then there you go. But the star of the show is just fighting, not the story.
Hmm.
So no, I don't know anybody that buys the Mortal Kombat games. Like, oh, the story's gonna be so good.
Yeah, I haven't ran across them yet.
Yeah, me either. And another time waster, in my opinion, is like a hack and slash. Like even Ninja Turtle games, the original ones, they're more of a time waster. Yeah, you go through different levels and stuff. But you just go through killing a bunch of enemies. So I mean, that's just something that just go play, kill a bunch of people, take your mind off of stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, it depends which hack and slash you're talking about. Like I said, like you said, the Turtles were a good one, but if you like save that for a God of War, people are going to like execute you over that.
That's true. I mean, honestly, I could see where God of War may be different because it's more story driven, especially
Mhm.
of course, new God of Wars where they rebooted it or whatever. It's different than the old God of Wars. The old God of Wars were just hack and slashes. That's it. But the new ones are more adventure games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. The old ones, yeah, people would be offended by just saying that's a time waster. All right, here is probably the best topic we have for the night, probably the longest. Um, Tears of the Kingdom previews went live, I believe, 2 days ago. So, what's
Yeah.
your opinion on what you have seen so far?
Well, I watched probably about 15 different YouTubers that got invited to go play it. We didn't get invited, but they got invited to go play it over in Europe for the most part. And the game did not disappoint just by the visual aspects of watching it.
Right.
It's going to be worth every single penny of it, I think. Uh, my biggest one for the that everyone had in common pretty much was run into the Bokoblin King. So
Um,
with the Bokoblin King, it was obviously it showed how much evolution is going on, like how we mentioned before on the podcast, where it seems like they're getting smarter, more established,
right.
and everything else. Uh, Showed off more of the fuse abilities, the Ultra Hand, the Zonai rockets. There's a portable pot, so you can bring your cooking whenever you do, and a cookbook. That way, you don't have to make dubious food anymore.
Oh, I didn't see the cookbook.
Yeah, there's a cookbook in there now, so any recipe that you want to make, you can go on there in a cookbook, and which of course none of them explained if you gotta cook it first for it to be in the cookbook for it to work, or if it's just there just to be prepared for it, or to
Hmm.
know what you're making.
So, is it
So I don't
like you
know.
go on there and then you just select what you want to make and it takes it out of your inventory and makes it? Or do you have to just pick it, like hold each item and go back and look what you need and go that way?
So what I've seen on it from the last video I done, I think it was can't think of the guy's channel's name. It was Commonwealth something.
I
I
know who you're
think,
talking about. Yeah.
but he had it up on there, and it had like one item selected. Then once you hit that item, it was an apple, and then it had the eat. The cookbook was in the middle, and then the toss was on the bottom of it.
Oh, okay.
It looked like it was, like I said, just a drop down, but I don't know how far in the game, or if you gotta have, like I said, already a recipe made from that one specific thing, then that just tells you what you made. That way, you can all your heart, because it gave like a heart count, the whole 9 yards.
Either way, it'd be really handy to have.
Yes. Uh, and I noticed that Ascend, which is one of the new ones as well, is it freezes time whenever you pop up through the ceiling to
I've seen that.
like let you look around and stuff to see what the dangers are before you pop through.
I thought that was a
Uh,
nice touch.
yeah, and Ultra Hand, I know I've already mentioned it, but it's more or less a fancy magnesis on this game
Yeah.
because that way you literally build everything. But I think Zeltic said there was an extra thing that you unlock further on in the game
Yes.
that like Ultra Hand that's like complements it, but they
Yeah.
wasn't allowed to use on the gameplay trailer.
Well, I got
Or
details on it, so I'll tell you about it later.
all right, uh, secret ability, and then it looks like they're for the bombs now. It's going to be bomb flowers this year. I've
Oh,
seen a
really?
couple. Yeah, I've seen a couple of them that had bomb flowers on their inventory. Like I said, I watched like 15 different
Right.
people that got to play it, so I didn't just stick to a couple. But main, I went off the beaten path a little bit from people I hadn't heard of before, and I was like, okay. Then I seen they had bomb flowers in their inventory. I was like, okay, I haven't seen a bomb flower since Wind Waker.
Right. Yeah, I was playing Wind Waker last night. My mind went straight to Wind Waker when you said Bombflower.
And it, I seen a couple of them get killed because it seems like the shock arrows have more of a reach this year, and I've seen quite a few of them get stabbed by trying to use the choo choo jelly and with the fuse, and it just seemed like they died, and you get a different game over screen depending on what kills you.
Right. I seen
Like,
Zeltic, what he used, a sapphire and froze himself and killed him.
when it turned blue, and then
Yeah.
the shock choo choo, it turned it green.
Yeah.
Whenever, so it's like what, however you die in the game, it seems like that's going to be your game over screen. It's the same noise
Yeah.
as like as Breath of the Wild, but it has a different color each time instead of just red.
That's cool.
And then there looks like there is going to be more Korok seeds.
I seen that too. There better not be 900 of them. That'd be stupid. Nintendo had to hear everybody complaining about that. And you
Fuck
better get a better
Nintendo.
reward than a big pile of crap too.
All the little turd saves it for one big turd.
I know.
But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all I have on all the explaining I've done on that one.
All right. So I'm going to ask you before I explain, talk about my side. Um, do you think you'll miss having the remote bombs if we don't have them return?
It depends how. I didn't really use the remote bombs that much, in all honesty.
Really?
If it wasn't for like specific trials that made me do it, I didn't use them. I just didn't really see the point. I preferred to hack and slash my way through or shoot them from a distance with a bow. I didn't really use the bombs that much unless, like I said, I was required to.
Okay. I used them a lot. Like if my weapon would break or something, I'd bomb the crap out of them. It's free damage.
I pretty much, like I said, I got 13 hearts right away and pretty much just got the Master Sword. I mean, yeah, you lost it for 10 minutes, but it wasn't nothing I couldn't
No.
survive on for 10 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So first thing I want to point out is even watching it on YouTube, you can see that it definitely looks better graphics wise than Breath of the Wild. It just looks
Oh, yeah.
sharper. And so I'm excited to see it in person, how much better it looks in person, because YouTube's going to render it down some, but you can just still tell it looks better. Um,
hmm
and saying that, it also looks a lot like Breath of the Wild. Gameplay wise, it has a lot of the same sounds, which isn't a bad thing because that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping they were going to take Breath of the Wild and just expand on it because I didn't want them to change a whole lot of stuff, with the
Yeah,
overworld and the map and everything. I liked everything the way it was, so I didn't want them to change all that. Because a lot of times when companies make a sequel, they change a bunch of stuff and it kind of takes away from the original and makes the original worse. I did see the inventory screen. It looks like it's better than it was in Breath of the Wild.
yeah.
Um, but for the previews, I know they were heavily monitored on their gameplay by Nintendo reps. I know IGN themselves had some videos that were put out and they shared too much information and they were took down. They had to take those videos down. But I didn't watch 15 different people. I watched probably 3 or 4 different people play. But I know there was one person that seemed to find like a dungeon or a shrine entrance, but a Nintendo rep told him to turn around, that they were going too far into the game, so they couldn't go explore it. So I'm hoping that it was a dungeon, and then we'll get dungeons back. At least 3 or 4 of them. They don't have to be 8 of them, like in a
Yeah.
typical Zelda game, but 3 or 4 would be nice. I mean, there was 4 divine beasts. Those weren't dungeons, so to say. I mean, they kind of were, but they weren't. But if we get 3 or 4 dungeons, I'd be happy that we got dungeons back.
Do you think they should implement the halfway rule again? Like, how if you beat all 4 divine beasts, he lost half his health, or did you think that made it too easy?
I think it made it too easy. I understand what they were going for. You were going to be rewarded for your exploration and progress, but it did make it made Ganon seemed like a complete joke. In all honesty, the blights were harder than he was.
Yeah, especially since he was just pretty much a coordination of all of them combined.
Right. He had all their powers pretty much in one, and you'd already fought the blights. He already knew how to dodge the moves, parry them, or whatever. So it made him a complete joke. And Dark Beast Ganon riding around in Hyrule, he was a joke too.
Yeah. You
So
think they'll learn their lesson off of that one?
I think they will. I think when we fight Ganondorf, it'll be a real fight, like Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker. It's going to be, or Twilight Princess. It's going to be a real fight.
Do you
There's,
think he'll be the final boss, or do you think that demise is still at hand?
I think it'll be Ganondorf, and then he'll turn into Ganon, like pig form, as a final boss, similar to Ocarina of Time. So I think you'll get Ganondorf, and then Ganon.
Okay.
I don't think Demise. I think you only see Demise when he's powering up from that tear on his crown or whatever. I think you just see all the hatred and the malice, and that's Demise. And then when he takes his shape and fully rehydrates, that's Ganondorf.
Okay.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
That's what I believe. But so basically, the point of these previews was to show off Link's new abilities, and from all the gameplay footage I've seen was mostly from the Sky Islands. I know there was some footage from the ground, but most of it I seen was from the Sky Islands. Did you see much from the ground?
I thought it was, well, yeah. Most of it was from Sky Island because what was on the ground, they basically said that where Numa had pretty much covered basically all the ground stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think they was allowed to, they just wasn't allowed to show that part. Because
Yeah.
I think they got 50 minutes and 50 minutes. They had to stay 50 minutes in the sky, then they had to stay 50 minutes on the ground.
Yeah.
Which is weird that it's going to go ahead and make it an hour, but like you said,
Right.
people was already getting close to dungeons and stuff, so they was like, yeah. So I guess they give it pretty much the right amount of time for people not to spoil the game for themselves, which kind of hard to do since, like you said, Nintendo reps were literally sitting right there staring at you.
Right. That'd make me nervous playing a game. Somebody's staring at me. Any second they could tell me no further. But
But
yeah, I
if they
mean,
put one of the first ATV walls up and just launch you as soon as you get too close to the thing, that would
that's
have been
right.
something to see.
That would. Yeah, they could have made a special build for the game and done that. That'd have been funny.
Watch him get too close and just see Link just go fly.
Flying across the map.
Yeah.
But in Zeltic's video, you mentioned him. He showed a lot of details, so definitely go check his video out. But he showed in one part that you can take those Zonai chargers you get from like constructs and stuff from the Sky Island and exchange them into that bubble gum looking machine thing for different, you know, different parts like fans, rockets, and extra batteries and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. You could just get a
Yeah.
random assortment of Zonai parts just from killing those constructs and exchange them
Yeah,
for
you
those
can
charges.
trucks. I think there is just random ones laying around because one of the videos that I watched, they just picked one up randomly out of the Sky Island, so it's possible that they just randomly spawn as well.
Okay. Okay, and also that ability that Zeltic was talking about, how it complemented the Ultra Hand.
Hmm.
I believe it's called. It's maybe not called, but it's like an auto build. So what it does is it takes kind of like the cookbook, which what you've made already, and kind of takes it out of your inventory and makes it if you have those parts available. So you
Yeah,
instead of taking your Ultra Hand and putting it piece by piece again, you just auto build what you've already made.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've studied that thing because, like I said, out of all the videos I watched, they all pulled up that menu, and I'm just waiting for one of them to accidentally hit over on that button just to see it because it would still flash the name of whatever one you were scrolling across, whether you selected it or not.
Right.
So I'm just like, hey, I'm just waiting for this one of these guys to mess up. That way I can pause the video and see what it is. But not a single one of them did.
I'd say that was on purpose, or their video wouldn't have been able to stay up.
That's true. But still, it was like one got like super close. I was like it was in between the two lines. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I think that's what that is. I think it is auto build from what I've
It looks
seen.
like, but I seen a picture of it. It has free hands.
Yep, right, right. Yep, purple hands because
Yeah.
Ultra Hand is orange and it's three purple hands, I believe. I think so. But yeah, I think it's
Hmm.
auto build. I think that's what it is because he said it complements it, and then I heard somebody else say there's an auto build feature for your Ultra Hand, so I just figured that those two went together.
And they all said that you get adjusted to the building quickly.
Yeah, they said it's kind of weird at first doing all the spinning and the rotating and everything, but they said it because you have to do it with your right stick and your D-pad. So they said it's kind of tedious at first, but you'll catch on quick. All right, move on. So Nintendo will not be at E3 this year, but they will be at Gamescom later this year in August.
Yeah. Gamescom has confirmed that Nintendo will be present at this year's event in Cologne, which is set to run from the 23rd to the 27th of August. Which they really haven't put out what they'll be doing there, but I mean, that obviously won't be showcasing Tears of the Kingdom.
You don't think they will?
I mean, the game's already out. I mean, like I said, they'll probably have a booth set up for it, but
Right,
like I said, it's not a true showcase because it's already released, and at that point, people would already have it because that's 3 months after the game releases.
right. Okay. All right. Like I said, Nintendo will be there, and nobody knows what they will have set up. But in my opinion, I think they will have a booth for Tears of the Kingdom, just a demo of the game, like they did it for Breath of the Wild. You know, if somebody for some reason hasn't picked up the game yet, they can play it there, could pick it up. And I think they'll have a booth for Pikmin 4 because at that time it'll be released pretty soon, or maybe a little bit
Okay.
after that. So I think they'll have Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, and they also may have some more games that they announce in their June Nintendo Direct. Maybe a Metroid Prime 4, hopefully, or something along those lines. Who knows? But a lot of people are saying, oh, they're going to announce the Nintendo Switch 2. No, they're not. If they was going to announce it, they would announce it in their own Direct, not some game festival.
Yeah.
So don't get excited for that, guys. They're not going to do that 4 months before Christmas and ruin their holiday sales for the Switch. They're not going to do that. So just don't get your hopes up on that.
Because this holiday season, they should be able to break the record.
Yeah, yeah, and they're wanting that record, and
Especially if Tears of the Kingdom release, Pikmin, and everything else come Christmas time.
right, yeah. So in my opinion, Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, and whatever games they may announce in their June Direct. Hopefully, it's a Metroid Prime 4, but we'll have to see.
That's right. Or I don't think they'll do another Mario game. I think they'll wait.
You think they'll wait till next gen?
Hmm.
Not even a 2D Mario?
I mean, 2D Mario is fine. No one really cares about 2D Marios. I mean, I do,
Yeah.
but
Let's say I
I've
would
heard
like
it.
maybe a new Super Mario Brothers game, new Super Mario Brothers Switch or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, they've done it with every other console since the Wii, so it
Right.
makes sense to do it. But it's, I
And
mean, shoot, Luigi got his own title from it.
right. Yeah, I mean, might as well give it to the Switch, but we'll have to see. All right. We'll try to make it at least two more topics, hopefully. Because one of them's in our title, so we got to at least make it to that one. Um, Lego announces new Donkey Kong set.
Yeah, they're definitely riding off the movie hype just because Donkey Kong, yet again, was in the movie. So it's going through, even though it's more based off Donkey Kong Country, since I've seen like Cranky Kong and stuff
He's in the
in
movie.
the set. Out. Is he in the movie?
He is in the
I
movie.
haven't seen it.
Oh, I watched it
Okay.
last week, and it's good. You need to watch it.
So yeah, that makes sense. I will whenever it comes out on Peacock. Uh, yeah, it was like, and Donkey Kong wasn't the only one I seen. I seen the airship and everything else. So yeah, it's definitely just them basing off the movie. I even seen a Luigi's Mansion one. So
Yeah.
it's like I said, they're just going off the movie hype. So it's no shocker that they're collabing with Lego right now.
Right.
Because why not make more money off of kids, off of the basically kids movie that's the adults are all watching.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's not just the kids that are loving it, it's the adults too, because they grew up playing this game. So, yeah, they have a bunch of different figures: Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong, Funky Kong, Dixie Kong, and Diddy Kong, and Colin said others. But like you said, I'm not really surprised about this, but sooner or later, they're gonna have all kinds of different franchises. They're gonna have a Zelda one, they're gonna have a Metroid, they'll probably have Star Fox, which that would be really cool. Um, Pikmin, probably. I mean, they're just going to keep making Lego sets because it's making them money. And these Lego sets are pretty expensive and people are buying them. So why not
Yep,
keep something going that's selling? There's no sense in quitting.
that's right. Don't quit it if it works.
That's right. All right. We are out of time, but we're going to go through one more because it's in our title, like I said. So the CMA blocks Microsoft's deal with Activision.
The Country Music Awards needs to keep their minds to themselves. No, the Competition and Market Authority. As soon as I seen CMA, I was like, I gotta make that joke. Uh, has announced that they have decided to formally block the deal. The CMA said its decision was motivated by concerns about the deal's effect on the future of nascent cloud gaming market, where Microsoft is a key player, pretty much the only person doing it, or the only company doing it that matters anyways. It fear the deal would lead to reduced innovation and less choice for UK gamers over the years to come. End quote. It said that the solution proposed by Microsoft had significantly uh, no, not even significantly, had significant shortcomings and would require regulatory oversight by the Country Music Awards.
All
The
right.
CMA.
Well, before I even say anything, CMA's stupid. They obviously have no idea what they're talking about. But let me go ahead and read it. The Microsoft and Activision deal prevented to protect innovation and choice in cloud gaming, like you said. The CMA has prevented Microsoft's proposed purchase of Activision over concerns the deal would alter the future of the fast-growing cloud gaming market, leading to reduced innovation and less choice for UK gamers over the years to come. Okay. Did the CMA not even see who Microsoft made deals with? Because they made deals, 10-year deals with Boosteroid, which is a cloud gaming service, GeForce Now, which is a
Mhm.
cloud gaming service, and what was it, Udis or Zetus or something like that, which is also a cloud gaming service. What's the debate there? They're it, it's not going to lack competition. They're bringing games to those. They've already made deals and said they're going to bring Call of Duty and other games to those services. So where's the debate that it's going to limit competition?
So I'm actually looking at it on the other side of the spectrum. They're looking at it like they have too big of a play in the cloud gaming service for it to matter for like Sony and stuff. Even though they said that they was going to do it, they have too much hand in the cloud gaming services, and that's why the CMA is blocking it.
What 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 I seen was they're saying that them adding it to Game Pass would make it unfair for other companies like Sony. But Sony doesn't have a game cloud service like Microsoft does. Boosteroid and GeForce Now does, and they've already going to be sharing those games with them. So I don't see the point if Sony doesn't have something to compare to it. So why does it matter if it's lack of balance and competition or not with Sony? They're basically just doing it because Sony doesn't have their own cloud service.
That's basically what it is. Like I said, it's because Microsoft has too big of a hand in cloud gaming services.
Yeah,
That's the exact what they're citing on this issue. It's because Sony is stuck in the current way of, well, not even, I won't call it the current way because it's the way it's been since the beginning of time, is not really believing in the cloud services because, they just recently showed up in the past few years.
yeah.
But since they've been showing up, Microsoft has been like, ooh, I'm going to acquire you. I'm going to acquire you. I'm going to acquire you. While Stadia was over there drowning, Microsoft was building up their empire of cloud services.
Well, I mean, Sony's been making purchases too. They could purchase somebody that has a cloud gaming service. So them not being in the cloud gaming service is their fault. It's not Microsoft's fault.
No, it's not. But I also think that Sony might be, sliding the CMA some money.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell that.
I mean, don't shoot the messenger here, but that's definitely what it sounds like.
Oh
Because,
yeah, I thought that as soon as I seen that, I was like, yeah, Sony's paying them off.
yeah, because like I said, it's literally the only part. I mean, like I said, it's technically not even affecting PlayStation. They've still got their sales from it.
Yeah, all they have to do is accept the deal from Microsoft, and they're good to go for 10 years.
Like I said, we're just podcasters. We don't care which way it swings one way or another. It's gonna, it
I
is
mean,
what
I'd
it is.
rather it
Yeah,
go through. I want Call of Duty on Game Pass, but I mean,
but I'm saying that's the only thing we have in a pod for it. I mean,
yeah,
it's really one way or another. It's not like we're arguing for PlayStation and Xbox, which one's right, which one's wrong. It's
Sony sucks.
will, yeah, literally Microsoft is like, hey, yeah, I'm willing to do this for everybody,
Yeah,
and
they're trying to help other people out, and then Sony's like, "Oh, you're just doing it for yourself," even though they've made deals with everybody. They're even offered Sony multiple deals.
hmm but it's just one of those things where
That's just how
people
Sony
like,
is.
yeah. And then they got people like the CMA. It's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna just because you're too big, we're not gonna let it get through.
Then won't they just shut down? I mean, they have the power to shut down Microsoft's cloud gaming. So won't they just shut off Game Pass and let the game go through? Let the deal go through.
Sony hasn't paid them enough yet.
That's probably true. I mean, Microsoft and the others that they made deals with, like Boosteroid, Nvidia, all of those, they're going to appeal it. Other agencies have approved the deal already, just the CMA's in the way. Um, I don't know if the rest of them approve it and the CMA don't, if it'll be available in all regions but the UK, or if it'll just completely block it completely. I'm not sure how that works. I think that would be stupid if one region blocks it for everybody. I think that'd
hmm
be kind of stupid, but I don't know how that works. But yeah, CMA's getting paid by Sony, it seems like, to block the deal. Hopefully they appeal it and get it through because like I said, I want some Call of Duty on Game Pass, play it on the go.
Yeah, which, like you said, it may not even affect us. It may just be the UK's version that gets hammered with it.
Right. Which wouldn't be fair to them
No, it
because,
wouldn't.
but I mean, I don't know. There's nothing else we could do about it.
If we have any pond listeners,
Yep. But yeah, so that's the news on the deal. CMA blocks it, but they're going to appeal it, so we'll keep you guys updated if that appeal goes through and the deal ends up going through. But we'll let you guys know.
yes, we will. That's what we're here for, officially.
That's right. So if you haven't already, go ahead and follow us on Twitch. You can watch our episodes live. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. Also watch our episodes live. Follow me on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. Subscribe to or follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and all that junk. And then our merch on Redbubble as well.
Yep.
And
pretty much every social media platform, and yeah, we're all good.
Yep. And after this, I'm gonna be just going straight over to Twitch and Kick and playing some Wind Waker. So if you guys are listening to this live, just go ahead and join over on me on my personal. I'll see you there.
Later, guys.
See you guys next week.
Welcome to the Agrihood. Carnes Crossroads is a new home community with a farm-to-table lifestyle just outside of Charleston. Here, community is defined by gathering together and our deep connection to nature.
Learn more at carnescrossroads.com.